What's going on YouTube? Kamikaze Von Doom here with another Outriders video, and today I'm giving you my Devastator review video. That's right. I think I've done everything I have to do with the Devastator. I've tried out all the drops, I've made all the builds, and I think I've finally put together what I think is the best Devastator build. And with that, I don't really have anything I need to do with this character. I'm probably going to switch over to my Pyromancer and start leveling that character up, making those builds, and then after that review, I'll go on to the next, so on and so forth. But just to let you see, here are my current times for my Devastator, all T15, all gold with 5 silver. So I've been doing this for quite a while, looking at the drops. I've gotten some really good drops on this character so far, and I think the number one thing in this review that I would say to take away from this video is don't sleep on the Devastator. I am getting constant 250 to 350 million damage per expedition without, any flaws. It's just smooth sailing. I've been using the Devastator for so long that it's pretty much just muscle memory at this point. I know exactly where to hit them with my earthquakes, with my impales. I'm good to go. So the number one thing I would probably say about the Devastator in this review is use a bleed build. The bleed build is by far the quote-unquote meta for the Devastator class. I've tried the statue set, so we can look at the statue set right here, where it gives you the 100% firepower and all that. There are reports that it might be bugged. For me, it's been working just fine. I can steadily hit, maybe 150 to like 175 million per expedition, but it just fails in comparison to the bleed build. Also, I've ran the Marshall build. You should see this build video come out shortly as well. But with the Marshall build, it's more of a support based build. Using the Endless Mass does help out a lot, and if you use that with the Pyro's debuff and a Techno, you can really do some crazy damage using the Endless Mass skill. However, again, it just fails to comparison when going up against a bleed build, where a bleed build you are just doing so much damage and so much crowd control that it's kind of hard not to run the quote unquote meta. Now I know there's a lot of you out there that don't want to be a bot or anything like that, and I understand, but as far as like this Devastator review, I'm just telling you from my experience, the bleed build is basically the only way to go if you want, smooth expedition speed runs where you're completing it time after time, getting gold, to get those legendaries. So aim for the bleed build. If you want to try out these other builds, they are a lot of fun to use. They really are, but I know there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of, elitism where they're like, if you're running a Devastator, they'll just kick you out of the group instantly. I've had that happen to me so much, it's unbelievable. I think that they should, completely rework their matchmaking as a whole, but that's for a different video. Let's see. The other part, the one that I did not make a build video on is this one, the Death Proof legendary set for the Devastator. I'll put one together just to show you how I would run it. But as far as it being viable, like the bleed build, it's just, again, it's just failing in comparison. For Boulder Dash and those type of melee builds, it's really good to have firepower in close range, but then your skills aren't doing as much damage, and that's where the bleed build just really stands out. Now the rest of these, you might be asking, what are these legendaries? They're, some of these are transparent or universal, so you can use these on any characters. So you can see right here, like the Ronin's helmet, for example. There's no bonus set to activate for this class. So you can put this on any of your classes, any of your characters, and if you like the roles that are on it with the mods, you can actually incorporate this in some other builds and make them even stronger. So for example, this one has anomaly power, cooldown reduction, and status power. This would be perfect for a bleed build. However, the mods just aren't where I want them. So in comparison to the mask that I am running, you can see I have anomaly power, cooldown, status, but then I have 1+ impale and 1+ earthquake. So it's hard to switch those out because I am using so much of my skills. That's where I get a lot of that damage from. Now, another thing with the Devastator, I would probably say stick to, if you're like running solo, I would stick to certain expeditions, because some of these are actually pretty difficult for a Devastator, especially if you're running solo. A lot of these silvers are me running solo and I just cannot get gold. It's a lot easier to get gold on these other maps as a Devastator, just because of the way it's laid out. It's more close quarters, and some of the enemies are a lot easier. So for example, for the known zone and all of these expeditions, I would say definitely Chem Plant is perfect for Devastator solo. Frontline is also perfect for Devastator solo. Both of these are very close quarters, and the captains usually group up, so it's easier for you to kill them quicker with your skills. Now, Marshland and Mountain Outposts, those are more long range, so that's why I get silver on those. They're not as easy. And then Boomtown, that one is just so quick. I don't know. I'm gonna have to just grind out Boomtown for an entire day. Side note, if you want to watch me grind Boomtown for an entire day, I could live stream that on YouTube. Just let me know in the comment section. Just say, do a Boomtown stream, something like that. Alright, so for the alien territory, for the Devastator class, Archways of Enoch is a given. It's so easy. Same with Stargrave and Time-Worn Spire. Basically, all of them. Now, Heart and Homestead, both of those are more long range with a lot more of those dragonfly-looking creatures. So that's where I get a little hung up with those. But as long as you focus on those flying enemies first, you should be good to go. Now, out of these three, I'm not going to recommend all three of these. Colosseum is by far the easiest of these three if I had to choose for a demo. Now, Drought Palace, it's alright, but again, the enemies, they just keep you running around the map. So I would probably go with Colosseum and Scorchlands, and then, leave Drought Palace for whenever you're with a team. Alright, and let's see, what else for the Devastator? Another thing, so over here, the elite offerings are really not good at all. Let's see if we can even see them. Okay, here's some. So for example, right here, you have the statue boots. Now, you do not want to use the statue boots, you just want the mods from these boots, because the boots actually have max health for that attribute, and you don't want max health. You want something more like bonus firepower, close range, long range for, those DPS type builds. So as, these are easy to obtain because you can just straight up buy them, these are not what you want to run for your build to be fully optimized. You want to use these mods and then find purple gear, put the mods on those, and then run the attributes that you want, and your build will be so much stronger. Now another one right here, the Seismic Commander gloves, same thing applies here. So for the Seismic Commander set, it's for the bleed build. Now for bleed builds, you want anomaly power, cooldown reduction, status power. That's usually, the god tier meta. Now if you can't find, cooldown reduction, skill leech is a good one. And then, things like that. But for these gloves, they come with max health. You don't want max health on a bleed build because you want all that skill power so you can do the bleed. So what you do is you buy these, you dismantle them, you take these mods, and then you put it on epic gear to make it even better. And then finally, right here, the death proof. The death proof, it's okay, but the healing received and the bonus firepower, in my opinion, is not the best. For the boulder dash, I would go with more skill, so probably like anomaly power, close range damage, and then probably like status power, something maybe cooldown reduction. So again, just remember these are easy to get. However, they might not be the best for your build. And then remember that the regular offer changes every, hour, hour and a half. And then another thing for, those that are running expeditions a lot, the easiest way to transfer resources, go to this guy right here, go to sell, titanium, swerve, drop pod resources, and then just hold right on your D-pad. Now it'll hit 999, or it'll hit 1,000,000. What the? It won't even let me hold that many. Alright, so there we go. And then sell. And then you can go right here to a Bailey. And then you can use your scrap for titanium. Same thing, just hold down right on the D-pad. It'll say 999, boom. And then you can just rinse and repeat, because once you hit max drop pod resources, they're not going to give you any more, and it's basically just a waste. So what you can do is you can sell your drop pod resources for scrap, and then sell the scrap for titanium. You can also sell it for the iron or leather. So you can see that all of mine are getting pretty high up there. That's why I'm going ahead and making this review video so that I can move on to the other class. I think I'm going to do Pyromancer next. But alright, so that is your Devastator review. For the build, I would say the legendary sets are fun to use, but I would go with the Seismic Commander and a full bleed build. If you need any references, obviously I've had multiple build videos on this channel for it, so just check some of those out. The statue set is a lot of fun for you DPS builds. The Marshall set, I'll make it soon. That way you can see the endless mass and the support that it gives to those DPS people. But as far as like my personal review for the Devastator class, the bleed build is the way to go. So yeah, there you have it. If you want to be a bot, just copy and paste my bleed build. You'll have a lot of fun. But if you want to be, your own person, you can definitely switch it out for whatever it is you want. But alright, I am Kamikaze Von Doom. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe to the channel. And, hold on. For the weapon. So for this bleed build, I highly recommend you use the Juggler with Scrap Grenade and Fortress. I get around 30 to 60 million damage from my Scrap Grenade every expedition. Every single time. And then Fortress, obviously you get it from that legendary shotgun, and it just buffs all of your damage. You're good to go. So that's the trick. And also you can buy the Juggler from this gentleman right here. What's his name? Tiago? Yeah, Tiago. So buy the Juggler from Tiago, put Fortress on it, on your bleed build, and then all of a sudden you'll be doing all the DPS. But alright, again, Kamikaze Von Doom. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to support by hitting that like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section below what you think. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.